Alright guys, I'm gonna start. So welcome to the Epic Video Conversions webinar. As you both know, actually as you all know, I have a special guest with me tonight, and this is hosted by Boris. And Boris, myself, I am from vidsmedia.com, and Dennis, my good friend, video marketer, is from castleforgemedia.com. Now, who am I? If you don't know, I mean, a lot of you already know media, but just in a nutshell, I finished a finance degree, hated it. Don't even get me started on school. I always looked to start businesses all the time. I wanted to get investors at some points, etc., etc., and never wanted a job. I loved business too much. Did an internship with an internet marketing company and learned how everything works. Ventured on to my own doing SEO, and then I finally got into video marketing and VSEO, which is the future of the internet. Now, let me introduce my good friend Dennis over here. Dennis?
Yeah, so if Boris just got into video marketing recently, he's like a video marketing infant, no offense. I would say I'm like a video marketing grandpa because ever since I graduated high school, I've been doing video marketing for money. So immediately after high school, I went straight to college. I was a digital media production major, and I went to school by day. I did freelance work by night, and then I was hired at an ad agency where I was part of, well, I wasn't part of the video team. I was the video team. We were very small. We were 20 people small at times, but we still handled huge clients like Cadillac, Sears, and I was like the video guy at that place. So they closed their doors, and since then I've been doing freelancing, taking on interesting clients and interesting video work, and I guess that's what brought me here. Back to
Dennis,
you,
can you
Boris.
can you control the screen from my end? Because it keeps showing your screen, Castle Forge Media.
Um,
Okay, that's fine.
don't know.
Alright, anyways, let's get into today's agenda. Oh. Alright guys, so we're getting into today's agenda. So the first thing we're going to be showing you is two case studies. So I'm going to be personally showing you two case studies on how to increase click-through rates by 300%. One of the case studies me and Dennis did together, and the other one I did on my own. So, and this is going to be expanding on using celebrities. As you guys know, on Vids Media, I've showed you a case study, last week or two ago that everyone really liked. So I'm going to be expanding on how to use those properly. Second, I'm going to let Dennis take the spotlight away from me, and I'm going to look like Steve Carell from The Office when he does so. Third, Dennis will teach you everything he knows about increasing click-throughs. So everything from including small businesses to Fortune 50 companies that he's worked with. You guys are going to see this. So basically, you're going to become this guy, boss cuts wages, takes family on vacation kind of thing, okay? Fourth, we have a surprise for you plus a wrap-up. And no, don't worry, the surprise isn't us going to be rickrolling you, even though now mentioning it, it sounds like a good idea, so I might do that anyway. And fifth, you guys get to hang out with me and Dennis, and you get to ask questions as well. So, that being said, does that sound good? If so, let's rock and roll. So case study number one. All right, so for case study number one, if we go to YouTube, you're going to see this video here. And the the video is about this thing called Garcinia Cambogia, okay? So if we play the video, all right, it's a very short video. There isn't much information, and then there's a call to action at the end. Now, why is this important? Just pay attention to the way we're doing things. When they click through on this video, it takes them to a landing page that looks like this. Okay, on this landing page, what we're doing is first we're offering them value here, and once we offer a little bit of value, we tell them, okay, click to get more value. Okay, so when they click here, we have a really long video from Dr. Oz, like I mentioned, using celebrities, right? So this video. So basically, when they click on this, they get taken to a page that looks just like this. Okay? Why are we doing it this way, linking directly to this offer? What we're utilizing is small yeses. So when they come to this video here, they watch this and we tell them to do something and they do it, so we get a small yes. They come here, they get some more value from us, they watch this, we tell them to do something, we get another yes. When they come here, they've already been used to saying yes to us, which means at this point, they're pretty much pure customers versus just being, like people who want to know about the product or whatever. So they're really warm buyers, and that way we're able to weed out most of the, tire kickers or whatever you want to call them. Now, just going back to this case study, why do you think we did it this way? Why did we make them go through so many loops? I just kind of basically explained it. We make them go through a lot of loops because we warm them up to the product. It's not for just show or like showing off cool landing pages. It's so we can warm them up and we know exactly who the buyers are. And then if we want to create an email list, it's very targeted people. All right. And then number two, I want to know who here thinks they know what we did wrong with this campaign and what could we have done to do better. Does anybody know what we did wrong specifically with this right here, this page? All right, I've got some answers. I've got a few people. All right, well, anyway, in case study number two, I'm going to explain to you the mistake that we made. And the mistake that we made was not having a click-through on the actual video itself. All right, this is pretty much like, okay, Dr. Oz calls this Garcinia Cambogia the holy grail of weight loss. Having a click-through on the video is the holy grail of increasing your click-through rates by 300% for like a video marketer. All right, so let me show you something. Actually, before I do that, I wanted to mention something about this campaign real quick. We tested multiple offers, and do you guys know why we did that? So we tested this offer, and we tested another one, which isn't showing up. They actually took down the offer, but it looked really bad. So just imagine this page looked really bad, but this one didn't. And if they order from here, they have to pay $50. And if they have to pay from here, they only pay $5. So what do you think is going to convert better? The page that, where they come, they have to pay $50, or the page where they come and they have to pay $5? Surprisingly enough, this page, not this one, but you get what I'm saying, we had no conversions on the $5 offer, and we had a really good conversion on our $50 offer. So this, intuitively makes absolutely no sense But this is why you guys have to make sure that you're what's it called? You're testing, because this page looks really really good, and a copywriter wrote this out, and it looks, the graphic design is all great. On the second page, pretend this isn't as good. The copywriting sucked, the page wasn't as pretty, etc., etc. So even though we had warm traffic, nobody was buying, which was, really, really much, basically a shocker. Now going back to the click-through problem, let me show you another case study. If we go to Google and we put in free PS4 giveaway, all right, and there's this douchey guy here, and then there's this awesome video right here. So if we click on this video, I'm going to show you something. First of all, if you want good click-throughs, don't have ads, but that's beside the point. I'm doing some testing right now, and for specific reasons, this ad is up here, which I won't get into right now, but anyways. Once the ad is finished, as you can see here, what I'm doing again is leveraging authority once more. So if somebody wants a free PS4, right? First of all, this headline is really good. They come on to this video, and then they see PS4, okay? And then they see this little sign here, and it says free PS4, limited spots, and there's an arrow, and it says click here. All right? When that happens, what can happen at the beginning? You guys know? Basically, this guy or girl who's on this wants a PS4 can say, all right, well, screw this. This is probably a scam. I don't wanna click on this. Then they play the video, and what I'm using is the official PS4 video. So what they're doing as a PS4 and Sony, obviously they want to promote their product. So as they keep watching the video, they get more and more intrigued, and they're getting more and more intrigued, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, the PS4 really does look awesome. But say you had an annotation here and now it's gone, right? So now it's like, oh, if I want to click here, I can't. That's why, if you notice, if you come at certain points on my video, the annotation shows up again. So what I'm doing is basically, I have the click at the beginning. So I know at the beginning they don't want a free PS4. They're like, screw this. This is probably a scam. Let me watch the video. Once they start watching the video, because it's a really really high quality video, it doesn't even have to be high quality. It just has to be engaging, which Dennis will talk about in a second. They're just like, they keep watching it. Maybe at this point they're like, oh, I want to buy. Or maybe they're annoyed again and they're like, no, I don't. Why does this keep popping up? So they click X. But they still like the video. So if that keeps going, at the end, this pop-up comes up again. And then it comes up again. Okay, I think I deleted a few of them. But either way, it keeps coming up, right? So at any point in the video, what you want to have is just annotations like every 40 seconds or something. So anytime they want to click here and they've exited before, they can click on this, right? And then, if they really just never click on it, they get to the end of the video. Finally, what you want to have is a call to action and a click-through on the video. Why this is so important, especially nowadays, is if you guys noticed, even if you say click in the description box, first of all, it's an inconvenience. Not that it's bad, a lot of people don't even put that. But second of all, when the video ends, if you just notice, look what happened. YouTube automatically shows the share buttons instead of the about page. So if you forgot to tell them to click in the description box, and you didn't have a click-through on the video, or even if you told them to click in the description box, it's still a hassle. You're making it a hassle for them. You want it as easy as possible for them to be able to click on something that they want, that they're there for, right? And that's where the power of basically just put annotations every 40 seconds. That's what I'm doing right now. And I've been testing this over the last month or so, and every single video I've done this to has gotten 3 to 4 times more click-throughs than I was getting before. All right. So I hope that is helpful. Okay, I just ruined that slide. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed that study. Let me know in the description in the chat box if this is if this is something you guys liking, if you guys are liking the info so far, etc., etc. And that being said, let me introduce good friend Dennis again, and he's gonna now take the stage and pretty much just like wipe the floor with video marketing talk, etc., etc. Dennis, you can
Hey,
press.
Boris, can you
Yeah.
set me up? And if I press present, will it take me back to the beginning?
Nope, I think you're good.
All right, cool. All right, so something I just thought of while you were going over your last case study, another reason why you want to embed things is because well, not embed things, but do the annotations with external links, is because when you post that, when someone embeds that, like let's say that there was a gaming forum and someone saw that video and they wanted to embed it on the forum, those annotations carry through. So, like, you know how YouTube's all about like showing you the share button first. So every time someone shares that or even embeds it, they're basically spreading your link around, which is awesome. So, anyways, this is
Awesome.
me. Uh, my name's Dennis. I'm a video marketer, as I told you earlier, and I have this weird, quirky, fun, interesting view on business. So basically, I don't really look at money when I take on clients. I only take on projects that interest me, that will cause me to grow as a person. So this has led me to work on some really interesting uh, projects with some really big brands and some very interesting work. So, Boris, did this go to the next slide? Or
Not yet.
I'm sorry, everyone, I'm lagging.
Yeah, click it one more
Okay, I'm going to
time.
click again.
Yeah, and now you're good.
All right. So this has led me to work with some really, really big brands on some really interesting work. So I don't want you to look at this list and see like Nike and Viacom and HP and be like intimidated, because working with smaller people is my specialty. So bring the high level thinking and high level strategy from like these huge companies, bringing that to a smaller level is really where I thrive. So I want to talk with you about the work I've done with a specific company. They're called Allied Wallet. So these guys are an Inc. 500 company. They're basically exploding with growth. They're a PayPal competitor, and they're getting really big in the UK right now. Um, they give businesses a way to accept customer orders. So they hired me to do an explainer video. It was supposed to be animated. It was supposed to be something that customers saw on the main page of the site, and their goal was to encourage signups and get as many new users as possible. So this is what they were expecting of me. They were expecting a cool, fun, hip, animated cartoon explainer video. And these things, I did this project around 3 years ago, and these videos were getting really, really popular. They were all over the net, and this company wanted to catch the trend. Um, so what I delivered to them was the complete opposite. I gave them basically what turned out to be a screen capture of a user signing up. And it really threw them for a loop because they hired me based on my demo reel. So they saw some really like professional 3D animations and transitions and sexy fast cuts, and what they got was this. And they were very hesitant to put it live on their site, but I talked them into it. And what happened? It tripled the signups that weekend. So it didn't take any time at all to take effect. They pressed publish and they tripled their signups. So the result for that was immediate. And the thing to understand is that when it comes to video, there are 3 tiers of action. So 3 things that you could do to get your users to take action. And tier 0 is to do nothing. This is what most people do. They don't tell the viewer to click anywhere. They don't have text on screen. They don't have annotations. They just cross their fingers and hope that the user will do what they want them to do. Tier 1 is much stronger, and that is telling them what to do. You give them a push, you give them some direction, you tell them to click the link on the description, you tell them to order now, but that still isn't usually enough. There's something that you could do, tier 2, which is even stronger, and that is you show them. You show them clicking on the buy button, you show them checking out, you show what it all looks like. And this is by far the best and the strongest way to make people take action. Now, keep in mind, it's best to combine the showing and the telling. So after you show the sign up process, also tell them to sign up. So I worked on a project with one of America's largest banks. Due to the non-disclosure agreement, I can't tell you which one, but trust me, if you live in America, you know what bank, or you've heard of this bank. So the project I did for them was specifically for television, but this applies just as readily to web video as it does in television. So in this television commercial, I used tier 2. I showed the customers inside the bank. We showed them on the street using the ATM. We showed them actually checking out inside stores using this very recognizable debit card. And this is important because it establishes trust. Like, we're creatures driven by social behavior. It's just like these instincts that we can't get rid of. Seeing somebody doing something will sit with us on a subconscious level. But how does this affect our online videos, and how does this work online? As you can see, I have Chuck Norris signing up with his credit card. The online equivalent of seeing someone check out in a store is using a screen capture, because that's what the end user sees. They
Hey, D,
experience
I think you cut out for maybe like 10 seconds. If you
filling out email fields and clicking the buy button. So that's the same type of thing that you want to do. Is it all good now?
can you just go over that whole part again?
I got a message on my end saying that connection has been disrupted.
Yeah, I think you're good now. So if you could just go over that part again. That's all we missed.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah. Just the screen. Go from the screen.
all right,
Screen.
starting from where?
Screen capture is equivalent to, and then go from there.
Okay. So the online equivalent of seeing someone check out is a screen capture. The screen capture is basically what the user experiences. They experience filling out email fields. They experience clicking the buy button. They experience typing in their credit card. So with the bank, what I did was I showed people checking out at the register, because that's what someone would experience in that situation. But by showing what the person actually does, whether it's live in person or whether it's via filling in email fields, it removes their inhibitions. It removes the mental barrier that they have to act. So this is the lesson, and every time I have 3 of these, and I want you I want everyone listening to write this down. And I don't want you to write it down with like in Notepad, right? I want you to get a pen and write this down because I want it to be a pain in the ass so that you'll remember it. So the lesson here is showing your customer checkout is the most powerful way to increase conversions. And I split test this on my own when I worked with a big team of people. I had the tech guy split test it, and it is always true. Showing your customer checkout is the most powerful way to increase conversions. So Allied Wallet, they were expecting this type of video, a flash animation. Why didn't I just do that? I mean, wouldn't a flash video work? They're all over the place. So, why wouldn't it work for one company where it might work for another? Are all these companies wrong? And no, they're not all wrong. It's just there's a time and a place for cartoons. So when you're dealing with financial security, you need trust more than anything else. And the sad fact is, cartoon characters just don't build trust. They're not a good candidate for this client. But cartoony explainers are used, and they're all over the place. And they're not all horrible. For some companies, they work, and they convert even better. It's really all about making the styling of your video match the content and the industry. If you can't do this, you will not convert your customers. You need to match your styling to the information you're presenting. So this is a great example of two mid-sized companies. So we have Aweber here on the left and MailChimp on the right. So if you're not familiar, Aweber and MailChimp are both companies that provide like email list services. So Aweber on the left is the premium paid option, and MailChimp is the more accessible, no cost to start option. So you could already tell just by looking at the logos that Aweber is, more corporate, and MailChimp would probably do better with having a flash video. For MailChimp, branding is their main differentiator, which makes them a really great candidate to have like a cartoony flash explainer video done. If they were to both hire me tomorrow for Aweber, I'd do probably like a motion graphics presentation with like some screen share elements thrown in there, and with MailChimp it would be straight up animated flash. So here's another example. The example on the left is a bootstrapping startup, and the one on the right is a company that just raised another $6 million in investment capital. So the guy on the left is in his bedroom up against a white wall, and the guy on the right has what looks like a nice professional well-lit set behind him. But just look at how similar these are. They're both videos of founders speaking directly to the audience. And it's just great. Like, you don't need to hire expensive professional video crews to create videos for you. All you need to do is sit down in front of your camera and talk to your customers. Putting your face to the message will increase trust and increase conversions. So that brings us to our next lesson. Once again, I want you to write this down. Matching message and content increase conversions. Don't just do what everyone else is doing if it doesn't apply to you. And you don't have to stick to just like one type. Mixing different genres or types or styles of video is usually a good idea. So don't be afraid to like cut a screen grab at the end to increase click-through rates. And if your whole video is a screen grab, don't be afraid to like introduce your product, like showing your face on an actual video camera, like at the beginning or at the end. So mixing things up keeps things visually interesting and is usually a good idea. So I have a secret, guys. I am a hobbyist magician. So I have this dark, deep, secret hidden past where I performed magic for Girl Scouts. I performed for birthday parties and restaurants. And with any skill, the principles I learned in magic kind of leak into my other skill sets. So, particularly the importance of the point. In magic, pointing is a no brainer. And I was amazed at just the effect that pointing had. Like, you could literally point at anything, and that's what the audience is going to pay attention to. Even if they think you're lying to them, even if they think something's up, they will still obey the point, and they can't help it. It's a psychological principle, and you just won't believe what you could get away with if you just point. So, how does this relate to video marketing at all? Well, I want you to look at this presentation. I'm going to pull back. I want you to see what I did, what both me and Boris did to direct your attention. You could see that throughout the entire presentation, we heavily relied on arrows to point at what we wanted you to pay attention to, even down to the bullet points. So that wasn't a mistake. Arrows, as simple as they are rarely used in video, and they're somewhat of a trade secret. We are with arrows every day. Look at your computer screen right now. There is a mouse cursor, which is basically an arrow. The undo, redo, forward, back, all those buttons are arrows. And looking at my keyboard right now, including the arrow keys, backspace, enter, tab, shift, they all have arrows on them. Arrows are a part of our everyday life, and it's not just our digital life that arrows are a part of. Outside the digital life, on the road, there are arrows. It's the law to follow these arrows for public safety, and if we don't obey those arrows, we could even end up literally dying. And road signs are okay, but what I really want to talk to you about are handwritten arrows. So these are where it's at. Like, these give you all the benefits of trust. You get a feeling of instant connection. You trust them, even though you know that someone's not literally drawing on like a monitor with a marker. You still subconsciously have this added authority for the people who are drawing the arrows or presenting them to you. It's how we understand. And animating these arrows live during a video is my ultimate trust builder. That's what I do probably 90% of the time in client videos, because it evokes this authority. Every other time we've seen that like live animated hand-drawn arrow, it evokes the authority of like the weatherman. And we plan our entire day around what the weatherman says. We plan what we wear, what we do, our plans with people, whether we go to the movies or stay inside or go out to have a picnic with our loved ones. The weatherman's authority, using his trusty little tablet, is we obey that. And the sports announcers also do this. And the sports announcers are on TV. They're an authority. We listen to them. And there's no bigger authority than the educational system. Like, we are trained basically from kindergarten to obey or to listen to or take as fact anything that's written out live in front of us. It's really a way to give that instant trust and instant authority. So this is the lesson. Once again, I want you to write this down. Use arrows in your design to build authority and activate psychological triggers in your audience. I'm going to say that one more time. Use arrows in your design to build authority and activate psychological triggers in your audience. All right, Boris, the floor is yours.
Wow, thanks, Dennis. I always learn a lot from you whenever you talk about video marketing, and it's been it's a pleasure hosting this, having you as a special guest. You know, really really good, and I'm sure
Yeah,
the
I'm
vids.
sorry I called you an infant earlier.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not taking it personally. When I see you, I'll take it out on you. Don't worry.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure the people from Vids Media all enjoy you taking the time of day to share that with us. And now I wanted to get in to that little surprise that we promised. So, do you guys want instant authority on your videos without the hassle of learning rocket science? Basically, if you're like Jackie Chan and you saw this video production, software, you said, "What the f is this?" And it's blanked out because we're gonna keep this PG-13. Although if it was up to me, probably wouldn't. Anyway, if you're like me and you used to have like a 1% click-through rate, I asked this guy, what he thought about it, and he told me to kill myself. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't take his advice, but I modified on his advice to increase my click-through rate because I agree that 1% isn't good enough. Without further ado, let me introduce animated elements doodles. Alright, so what are animated elements? Okay, so these are pretty much personally created from someone who's worked in the video marketing and advertising industry for over 7 years. Alright, so this includes everything from arrows, circles, click here's, underlines, letters, exclamation marks, boxes, check marks, scribbles, etc., etc. And they come in various colors. So let me just really quickly show you what they are. If I can get this to run.
Now that is a good-looking video.
no,
Compliments to whoever made that.
no thanks to me. Alright, so basically everything you're seeing here, these are the animated doodles, alright? So everything, like, pretty much just all this stuff you can do, that Dennis was talking about, kind of, pointing, clicking, and showing, and telling them what to do, and making it a personalized touch is, that's what animated doodles are, animated elements doodles. That's, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what they are. So what do they do? What do animated elements do for me is probably your question. So they increase video click-throughs by 923%. That's from a, personal case study Dennis did with one of his clients. They are drag and drop for instant appeal. Basically, it's super hard on your own to make these kind of things, and I almost jumped off a bridge attempting to do something similar because, you have to hand draw them, upload them to your computer. You have to hand draw them on like iPad or something like that with like specific equipment. then you have to like render the images, make them HD, and then make them like drawn on, like expensive software, whatever. It's basically it's taking all of that and getting rid of it, and you just drag and drop it into like the easiest editing software on earth, like Camtasia, and you're good to go. Animated elements doodles allow you to form instant connections with customers, and it's a fact that hand drawings, as we've been discussing, increase conversions, but it's been always been difficult to implement until now, which is why I mentioned that the drag and drop is so key for this. And what you're doing with them by using them is you bridge the gap between marketing and advertising to reach your customers at that personal level that I was talking about. So you're becoming an instant authority figure because people trust and give attention to writing in front of them, and you're skyrocketing your production value at the same time. So if you are even charging, you can charge more for what you're doing. And then you can use them anywhere, like live action slides, animations, and even PowerPoints if you want to. That being said, me and Dennis didn't really want to stop there. All right. So what we're doing is we're gonna throw in a few really good bonuses for you guys. So the first bonus is high quality corporate backgrounds. So let me just show you. And I know a lot of you are from Vids Media, so if you've seen my beginner VSEO courses, this might look familiar. So basically, guys, if you're making a presentation, you just see this stuff in the background. It's not a boring slideshow. It's not like you're using Microsoft PowerPoint anymore. You're using corporate backgrounds. These things look like they're high quality. It's animated. That's on top of it. You're just gonna boost the value of any video production that you make this way, and you'll look so much more professional.
And you know what about the corporate backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
I know it says corporate pack, right? But I like in the pack there's like this one like background with dollar signs like falling from the sky. I use a lot of these with like offline clients. So I use like the dollar signs one with an offline client that wanted a commercial about like selling gold because the main color was gold. And I've also used this for a dentist video, which you've seen.
Right.
I've used these are really impressive, especially to like offline clients. Like it's something like the title. I just didn't want people to get confused. The title says corporate backgrounds, right?
Right.
But offline clients are really impressed by these.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. And I just even mentioned I used it personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using these personally for like my own videos that aren't, that are just like even like random affiliate videos just to test, and it looks so much better. It's not even a question, right? No thanks to me, of course. I had nothing to do with these. So. All right. So bonus number 2 is a comprehensive VSEO course. Now I know I beat you guys to death about VSEO, but it's important to mention that me and Dennis have a very different style. So any overlap that you see, you're getting in a new perspective. And in his course, you're gonna learn things like why it's okay to send 4K backlinks to your video all at once, how you can outrank Microsoft for their own keywords, how you can boost your view count without being deceitful, and video ranking techniques even experts are ignoring. This is really good actually when he showed me this, so I highly I highly recommend the course. Bonus number 3 is easy and epic titles. So basically this teaches you how to make titles inside your videos that look just like movie trailers. So what you're doing is you're capturing your audience right off the bat, and they're getting excited either about your product or what you're about to show them. Alright, so it makes you look like a real pro. Bonus number 4. I know pretty much most of this audience has this already, but I know there's a few of you that don't. So bonus number 4 is I'm going to show you how to rank videos in 72 hours. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm going to teach you how to find products or services not yet released, rank videos for them, for those products and services, and you don't even need to make your own videos, by the way. I teach you how you can just leverage other videos, and then you profit on the release date and forever after because you're there first, and once you're there first, it's pretty hard to take you down. And then we have a super exclusive bonus number 5. Our good friend Alan Crawley threw in Copy Sketch Pro. Okay, this is just like a deal breaker. You're getting over 3,500 hand-drawn and handwritten doodles, scribbles, and copy enhancements. What does that mean? You don't have videos? It's not a problem. Supercharge your sites the exact same way that me and Dennis have been teaching you, mostly Dennis, for videos on your sites. So the exact same rules apply to your sites as they do with video. And these are premium quality and high resolution. So what this entails is, arrows, ovals, circles, boxes, brackets, like bullets, numbers, coupons, underlines, highlights, infographics, callouts, stick people, miscellaneous, where it's like you basically just the kitchen sink, okay? Just you're getting the kitchen sink. I don't even need to. All right, and then on top of that, Alan allowed us to throw in his Graphics Creator Pro. Alright, so you will be able to create like eye-catching headlines, call to actions, guarantee, add to carts, whatever, without knowing any Photoshop or any advanced software. Okay, it's like if you're like a 3-year-old who can button mash the computer, like you can create awesome graphics with this. Alright, Creator Pro. Okay, as you can see here, these were all created with this program. That being said. So here's the deal. For the next 36 and a half people only, a half counts if you're a pregnant woman, and it also counts if you're under 16. Okay, so that means you're half. Not to say you're not a real person if you're under 16, but we had to make a cutoff point. So I kind of stiff-armed Dennis and Alan into doing this for me. So you're gonna get everything not at $87, which is the regular price. You're not even getting it at 50 off. I stiff armed these two guys. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, but anyway, $27 only for 36 and a half people. Okay, only. So the first 36 and a half people are gonna get this for $27. What you need to do is go to vidsmedia.com/epicpromo and buy it. So it's only 36 people. It's first come, first serve. We're not giving preference to anybody. And the coupon that you put in is vids27. Alright, so the price is 87. When you put vids27, you're going to get it for $27. And because I've been known to be a nice guy sometimes. I don't know if Dennis agrees, but okay. Here's what I'm going to personally throw in on top of everything. I've been asked to, make a Facebook page. People are asking why I don't have one. So I said, alright, I'm going to make one. And what I'm going to do is when you purchase the product, go to facebook.com/vidsmedia. This is how it looks. Aren't you guys impressed by my killer graphic design? Anyway, once you've bought the product, click like and post a comment. Once you do, I will personally reimburse 3 people after 24 hours. Alright, so 3 out of the 36 people are going to get this for free. I'm going to, out of my pocket, so I'm going to pay for you. Okay? I'm going to reimburse you for your purchase. Alright, guys, so make sure you go to vidsmedia.com/epicpromo, buy it using vids27. And then I'm going to reimburse 3 of you for free, and that's it. It's first come, first serve. We're not giving anybody preferences. Everybody showed up for this the same way equally, so that's what we're doing. Um, awesome. Given that now, you guys can go ahead and do that, and then me and Dennis will take any questions and answers you may have for us. And why don't I just make this, really simple for you? Um, right here. All right. So you guys know where to go. And this one. All right. So. Alright guys, so purchase it here, vidsmedia.com/epicpromo. Use the coupon code VIDS27 and go to facebook.com/vidsmedia and post a comment and like the page. Once you do, I'm going to be picking 3 people to reimburse them even the $27. So it's going to be absolutely for free. But you do have to purchase it beforehand and then tell me, because I'm going to need proof that you did. Otherwise, people could just tell me, give it to me for free, I bought it, and I wouldn't know who you are and that you purchased it.
And we would just be giving out $27 to random people.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you guys can, hit us up with the questions, and we're going to be answering them. You can also, anything you have, any questions and comments that you have for this webinar, if you're watching this in the future, you guys can put in the comment section, and me and Dennis, will be answering them personally on Vids Media. Dennis will be there too, and that's pretty much it. Sorry, Dennis, did you say you wanted to give them 50% off after the?
Yeah. You know what? I feel like so many people came out to this thing.
Yeah.
And only 36 and a half people are going to get the deal for 27. So, I was thinking, I created this coupon code. I wasn't sure if we would use it, but, now after the whole webinar, I'm thinking, if you could just write this down there for me.
Okay.
If you could write VIDS 47.
Okay.
And that will give any, latecomers, someone who's not part of the 36 and a half people who get there first, that will give them, the deal, the half off price, basically half off of 47 instead of 87.
Wow. Now they're gonna like you even more than before, and
Well, I think they already liked me enough,
and not me anymore. So I don't know if I'm gonna have you here again. You're stealing my thunder, dude. All right, guys. So there you go, from Dennis himself. After the 36, you guys can use Vids 47, and you have 50% off after that. All right, just for Vids Media audience. Is that correct, Dennis?
Yes.
All right, so Dennis is giving us, I stiffed arm him into 27. He did 47 after that on his own. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to Dennis one more time. You guys can thank him as well for taking his time to, basically show us all his techniques that he's used, from, like you saw, one guy in a bedroom to like big banks in the States, and showing us cool things on like how to save money, and you don't really need to know that much about video production or have like a really high budget to make really good videos. So thanks for coming on, Dennis. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so that's a wrap up. We'll be answering any questions or comments you guys have in the comment sections, and have a good night.